Hello everyone and welcome to another What I Think review, and today we're going to be looking at this, the new, or at least new when I'm recording this, it's come out on the day it's been released. By the time you see this it'll have been out a couple of days, but it is the new LEGO Super Mario Starter Course, and I've got a little freebie here that I ordered when I ordered it from Zavvi. I did want to try and get the one that was exclusive with the LEGO shop, but by the time I managed to place my order, they'd sold out of their expansion packs, so it was still nice to get this little one though. But yeah, as many of you will know, I'm a big fan of LEGO, and I'm also a very big gamer, but I have to admit, Super Mario is one of those things I was never hugely into. You know, I recognise its history within the gaming sphere, as it were, but I think when a lot of people were playing, sort of growing up playing Super Mario, I was more the Monkey Island, LucasArts point-and-click adventure game sort of person. But I am always interested in new innovations with LEGO, particularly as it sort of moves in towards the digital age. And you know, I obviously remember LEGO before digitals and things like that were coming in. So I'm always sort of interested to see what they're doing these days compared to the things that I grew up with. So obviously we've got the little expansion pack, which we'll take a look at when we all put it together. So here we have the box. It's an interesting shaped box. It's, as you can see, it's quite an odd shape, but still certainly very interesting. So obviously we've got the Super Mario Starter Course. We've got a bit on the side that tells us a bit about how Mario works. It's got obviously music and sounds. It's got recognition to do with the colours of the bricks. I'm interested to see how it can recognise those. It's got a screen on Mario, an actual sort of LCD screen, and it's also got Bluetooth connectivity because it does associate with an app which I've downloaded, which I'm going to do a review of as well. So if we have a look on the back, you can see it's just your sort of basic bit. It tells you what you get. I don't know how easy you can see that. It tells you what you get in the pack, obviously here. And then obviously it shows you, bits of the set, discover more, bit of advertisement. But yeah, I want to get into this and have a look. I'm interested to see how the interactivity with the apps are going to work. Obviously, those of you who know, I recently reviewed a LEGO Hidden Side, which was a new, not new at the time I made it, but it was a set that was new to me. With the digital and app side of that, so I'm certainly interested to looking at this. But of course, the first thing we want to do is build it, which is the beauty of LEGO, and I'll be perfectly honest, that's the reason mainly why I bought it, because I love building LEGO. So let's get on to that. Okay, so I've just put Mario together, as you can see, because I found that bit in the instruction manuals, but I've just gone to look through the rest of what I would consider to be the instruction manual, and it turns out this is not an instruction manual. It is basically an advertisement for all the different sets and things like that, and it does seem that you do need the app to build this, which I think is a little bit strange, that they would give you this catalogue and then give you the app to build. I mean, I appreciate that there is a green quality to that, it's less printing, less paper and things like that, but at the same time, it does mean, that you've got to get the app. So I've got the app, luckily, so I'm going to use that to continue building. But I just wanted to interject that while I'm doing the building. It's a bit of an odd choice. I'll come back to that when I do my review. So here we have the results of having finished building with the instructions. And I'm going to go now onto a little bit of a mini rant, but it is pertinent to the review because there is a huge flaw with this set, and it's ridiculously huge. Even though it's a small nitpicky thing, I can't quite believe that LEGO, who are usually very good, have let this go through. So as I said, this is the results of having finally built it using the instructions. However, as you can see, I've got a whole mess of parts here, and it's all just a mishmash of pieces. Now, I'm going to try and go through this step by step because this is incredibly complicated, which is in part the issue. So, as I said, it turned out that there were not instructions included in the box. Now, I asked on a LEGO Facebook group, anyone else who got the sets, I thought, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to give LEGO a fair trial here because maybe we've all had that thing where we think there's a piece missing from our LEGO set, or there is an error in the instructions, and it never happens. I've never known it to happen in all my 30 plus years of playing with LEGO. I personally have never known it to happen, but logic dictates it must happen at some point. So I thought, well, maybe this is an incredibly rare instance where I've been subject to a quality control issue where LEGO have simply forgotten to put instructions in the box. So I asked on a Facebook group saying, has anyone else had the same thing? And it turns out there are no instructions in this box. Now, that's odd, but I thought, as I said, maybe this is LEGO trying to be green. The instructions are on the app, so maybe they're doing, you know, they're making this set with less paper in it. So I thought, okay, fair enough, I'll let that slide. I'm traditional, I like to have the instructions as part of it, but if they're trying to be green, I'll let that go. So I went onto the app, and I'm going to put this up on screen because I've recorded this. When you go onto the app, you click the top right hand corner to go and view all of the sets. And as I scroll through them here, you can see there's a fantastic selection of sets. It looks very, very, very good. I love the range they've got, but nowhere here is this starter set, the set that everyone is going to start with. It is not here. At the very end, you can even see the little freebie extra set I got is in the instructions, but the starter set isn't. So at that point, I'm like, right, okay, so why isn't the starter set there? The one thing that you need instructions for to start with this set is not there. So that was a bit odd. So then I went onto the website, onto the building instructions, downloaded the PDF instructions to build it, and this is the result that you see in front of you here. All of these bits that I've built are what the instructions have told me to, but it's like I've got all of these bits left over because I understand and I appreciate that the whole point of this set is it's made to be reconfigurable, and it's made, you know, to evoke imagination and combine it in what parts you want. But this, to me, because you've got all these leftover parts, it feels like this set the instructions aren't complete. It feels like this is unfinished, and basically it feels like LEGO is saying, right, we've done this much, now it's down to you to do the rest. And they wouldn't do that with any of their other sets. And again, I appreciate that that's part of the set, that it's made to be configurable to yourself, but it just leaves it feeling unfinished. So, the hoops I've had to go through to build this set. The first thing, there's no instructions in the set itself. Then there's no instructions on the app. I'll come back to that in a moment. And then the PDF instructions are slightly incomplete. Now, I said that, perhaps LEGO were being green, and, that was why there was no instructions. But as I said, the little mini set here, this was on the instructions in the app. Now, this set came in the little plastic bag, this plastic bag, which, let's be honest, you could halve the size of this bag and still fit the set in there. So it's odd that, that's not a green thing. But then, this little set that you could easily put together just by going to the picture alone, comes with paper instructions on how to build it. The little tiny set comes with paper instructions, but the main starter set doesn't. I can't understand the logic there. Now, at this point, I'm sure some people are going to turn around and point this out, and I'm now going to mention this. It turns out there are instructions on the app to build this starter set. What you have to do is you take the Mario, you press turn him on, you press the Bluetooth button on the back, you then link the Mario to the app, and then, and only then, do you get instructions on how to build this set. And even then, it's partial instructions. It's not a full set of instructions. So I'm sorry, Lego. I've been a huge fan of yours for 30 plus years, and this is not putting me off buying Lego. I want to make that clear. I'm not saying boycott Lego or anything like that. I'm still going to have many years of enjoyment Lego, and I'm sure once I get into looking at this, I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with this. But I can't let this slide. This is a constructional toy that you have not included instructions for. Actually, I'll scratch that. This is a constructional toy that you have made the instructions extremely difficult to find and use. And I have looked through. I looked all over the box. I looked all on the PDF. I looked on the website. I looked on the quick start guide that came with this set. Nowhere does it say and tell you that you have to connect Mario to get the instructions for this set. The closest it comes is telling you that it requires a smart device that's not included, but it doesn't tell you why. So I'm sorry, and I know people are going to say it's a kid's toy, you're overreacting, but I'm not, because I put myself in the mindset of, if this is for ages 6 up, now if I was a 7-year-old boy, which I have been playing Lego, if I opened this, I got this for Christmas or my birthday, and I opened it, great, Mario Lego, let's play with it. I open it up, oh, there's no instructions inside. Oh, but it's got an app. Well, I'm a modern day tech savvy kid, I can find the app, so I get the app, I download the app, and then the instructions aren't on there. Now, maybe at that point I would have worked out how to connect the Mario to the app, because it's one of the first things it tells you to do when you open the app, but it doesn't tell you why. And then, let's assume I don't do that, let's assume I download the app and then I don't think of setting up the Mario. I've then got to go online and find the PDF documents. Now, again, as a small child, that's a lot to ask. It was infuriating to me as a 32-year-old adult, so I can't imagine how annoying that would be for a child to do, and they will lose interest. So again, I am sorry, Lego, but I can't not mention this glaring issue with this set, because it really has just put a real dampener on this set. It doesn't matter how good the rest of this set's going to be, and I'm sure from what I've seen it's going to look very good, but this is a huge error, and I'm sorry, but I can't just let it go. I can't pretend that it's not an issue when it is. This is a serious issue with this toy that I would genuinely wouldn't expect from Lego, and it's honestly, as a collector, and I think if I was still a child getting this, it would be a severe disappointment to this set. So I'm sorry to have to start this review off with a rant like that, but it has to be said, it can't be ignored. But moving on, let's have a look at put this together, going by the pictures on the box to put this together, because that's what I'm going to have to do, and have a look at what the rest of this set does. So here I have the majority of the pieces of the set, or at least with the interactive pieces all laid out, and we've got some batteries in Mario. So you turn Mario on by, there's 2 buttons on the back. He's got the on-off button and he's got the Bluetooth button. So just to turn him on. And that's pretty much it. He's ready to go. So the Mario himself has a few little sound effects, obviously as you interact with the set, but on his own. So when you put him down, he makes the landing noise, and if you quickly jerk him up into the air, he makes lots of different jumping noises. Now I did recently, I can't get it to work now, but he does make the jumping sound as well. Maybe you've got to do it quicker. There you go. It's a bit hit and miss at times with that, but obviously as you go around the set, it has different interactivity pieces. So I'll go quickly over sort of the things you can do, and then I'll do a close-up on each of the interactive pieces. So you would start by putting him in place, at which point the timer starts. So obviously then it plays the Mario music. So as you put him on different things, he interacts with different things. and then you've got the monster guy, I can never remember his name. He's got a thing on the back, so... Again, you get different noises when you do that. It doesn't want to seem to play. Typically when I'm reviewing it, it doesn't want to do it properly. Oh, and we've got the countdown now, so then you put Mario on the ending. So as you can see, there's a fair amount of interactivity with the set. You know, there's lots of different things you can do, and I think that's where the kids, the idea of the kids, you know, being able to rearrange the sets into what they want to create their own things works very well. As I said, I've said my bit about the instructions, so I'm not going to go on to there. But this is the reason why it's sort of doesn't have instructions in that sense. Is you can combine it into what you want and things like that. As I said, Mario's got several different interactivities depending on what you put him on. So I'm going to do a close-up now on Mario so we can have a look at that. So here we have Mario. As I said, I've already shown you his jumping sound effects and things like that. So all of the interactivity bits he's got, the way it works is he recognises colours of certain bricks, mainly green, red, yellow, and blue. As different spheres, I suppose you could call them. But the way the interactivity bit works is you have these barcodes in, and Mario himself has a little barcode reader and light on the bottom. So I brought these two in to sort of give you the idea. So we put Mario in here. So, well, there you go. You could see then. So if I put him there, he recognises the green as grass. So let's put him in. So that starts it. And then obviously you would go through playing the set and doing what you want to do, and then you put him on the finish. And he recognises that as the finish. So you've got those two, and you've got the green on there. So if we bring in this one, again, if I put him on here, you can see he recognises the blue as water. And then we put him on this spinning piece. Now the one thing I have noticed there is occasionally when you put him on something, it comes up with an exclamation mark, as in it doesn't quite recognise the barcode. And as you saw there, if I put him on the yellow, you can see he recognises the yellow as a sort of sand area. And it's interesting, he does seem to recognise it because it's playing the sound effect, but I would have thought something else would come up on screen. But maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. So we've seen the sand and that. If we bring in the red, he recognises the red as fire, and if you place him on it, he does make sound effects of being hurt. And if you leave him on there, he will die, as it were. And then if you play, let's bring in, for example, let's bring in our, whatever you want to call it, the mystery box. Again, I'm not Mario. I'm not used to playing Mario, so I apologise. So as long as you stand him on there, it's a case of you have the mystery thing, and then when you lift him off, so you got the star, which is sort of invincible Mario, I'm guessing. We'll wait for that to play out. What I want is a mushroom. There we go. So that's a sort of extra life, I believe. So then if we put him on the lava. So I've then lost the life, and obviously if we leave him on there, he will then eventually die again. Moving on, we have the cloud, which is again an interesting one. This is another one where you put it on there and nothing seems to happen, but then you have to sort of move it around, which I'm guessing is part of the Mario game. But if you put him on loosely, I don't know if this is going to come up. And then no, there you go. If he falls off, he gets knocked out, as it were, or sort of something like that. You then have the little Goomba, I think these are called. So again, that's just. You collect coins as you go along for that. We then have this guy again. I should know his names. I'm going to try and put. Oops, sorry. I'm going to try and put captions up on screen again. I don't know Mario, so I know people are going to be having to go at me in the comments if I don't mention the name. So I'll put them up on screen. So you got the main bad guy or mini bad guy, or whatever he's called. He's got a barcode on the back, and as you saw earlier, I was trying to get to this. Hopefully, this is going to work this time. There you go. So you get multiple coins if you do that several times. I think it'll only work once or twice. Yeah, see, after that you'll get a normal coin. Maybe you've got to do something else. Well, that one's, again, just to show you the green grass he will recognise. But now it's done that, let's bring this guy back in and see if he'll... No, you've obviously got to wait a bit to do that. And then we've got the little mystery one here, which has just come with another mystery box again. And then you've got the mushroom thing, which just makes the sort of jumping noises and things like that. So it's got a good amount of interactivity with this set. I can't fault it on that. It is certainly something which they've put a lot of thought into. And it's nice to see this kind of interactivity with barcodes and things like that, because it's a very simple way of doing it, and it's certainly, I think, a way forward with other Lego devices and things like that. You know, if they can incorporate this sort of, I'm not saying these should replace the minifigures, but if they made sets a bit more like this of other genres, I can certainly think of other ideas that would certainly work. For example, let's say if they ever got the rights to do like a Thunderbird set, you could have one of these devices, whatever's in the bottom of Mario, and have it built into like Thunderbird 1 or Thunderbird 2 or something like that. And then when you put that device down onto a launch pad, or you did something with it, it would make the sounds that would go with the corresponding Thunderbird. Or, you know, that's just one example. You could do it with so many different things. It would certainly be something which would be interesting to see them carry on in future. But now we're going to have a quick look at the app before I give my final review thoughts. So here we are looking at the app. So I click Start to open it up. And then, as you can see here, now this is the set that's been loaded in after I've synced Mario. And I'm just going to sync Mario again so you can see. So you click Connect Lego Mario, at which point you would then press the Wi-Fi button on the back of Mario. And there you go, I've connected Mario. So at this point, what happened then is this set then appeared, which if you then click on it, gives you the instructions and everything you can do to build it and put it together. Now, that's obviously fine that you've got it there once you've connected Mario, but when you look at the set, so you would go to the top right hand corner here, which is where all the sets are, and we've been through all of this. So why the starter set is not included here, I'm not sure, because for example you could put it as one of these big ones, you've got a small gap there you could have fitted it in. It's just odd that it's not here as the starter set as a standard set of instructions. You'd think they would put it under there, so it's a bit of an odd thing to be putting there. So we go to the top one. Now the top one has things like weekly challenges. It's got people's pictures and things that other people have done with their sets, and then it's also got sort of build ideas and things like that, which again is nice to see. You know, it's nice that they've put the build ideas in there, but again, it's the fact that they don't give you a standard build as part of the instructions just seems a bit odd. And then if we go down to the bottom, this is where you can add in your own creations of what you've built and done things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting interactivity and things you can do with this app, but it says on the box that the app is required but not included, and it feels like they're advertising it as the app does a lot more than it does. It feels like you actually need the app to use this set, and in a weird kind of way you do, because you need the app to build the set, but once you've done that, there's not a huge amount of use for the app as far as I can see. I mean, you got things like, you know, like the challenge, and you got the build ideas, and it's lots of stuff that people can share, and that's nice that there's that sort of social media side of things. And again, I appreciate that maybe that's a good thing for kids, it's interactive and things like that, and I get that. I completely support that idea, but I don't approve of the way it's been advertised, in that they make the app seem like it's really required, but all it's really required for is making the sets. And then that seems like a bit of a con, that they're making you download the app in order to build the set.
it just seems a little bit underhanded, I have to say.
So there you have the overall Mario Lego set. So if I have to give my final opinions on this, as an idea, 10 out of 10. I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. You know, it's such a great idea to combine the two things together, and it certainly adds a level of playability that Lego has that I certainly wish it had when I was younger. I cannot fault that. I really can't. In terms of its that was in terms of its design. In terms of its actual playability, it's not without its flaws. As I said, you know, there's the interactivity bits are a bit hit and miss, and Mario's sensors can be thrown off by some small things and things like that. But again, it's technology that Lego are embracing to keep up with the modern way of toys that toys work. And so I think for the limitations of the technology, or at least the limitations that they are doing from doing this new sort of style of technology and working out new things, it's never going to be without its flaws. So I would have to give that, you know, a good sort of maybe 8 out of 10. Because it does have its flaws, but it's not something that really detracts from the set, and I think it's most things that kids, again, probably wouldn't be that fussed by. But again, I can't get past the issues with the building. I'm sorry, I really can't, and that's got to be a 2 out of 10. It's just, it's really put a dampener on this set. If this set had just come with the paper instructions in the set, it wouldn't have been an issue. Or even if the instructions for the starter set weren't only available when you linked Mario up to the app, then I would have been willing to say, you know, again on that, 8 out of 10. If they put in an instruction manual in the set, that would have been a simple 10 easily. Because of the app, I mean, I'm a little bit, like I said, old-fashioned. I prefer to have the paper instructions. So for me, that's a 10 out. That's a 8 out of 10. You know, but again, I would have let that go. I would have let it slide because it's, you know, it's keeping up with the technologies. But the way that they've done this is just so uncharacteristic for Lego, that they've made it so difficult and unclear that I can't get past. I find it very difficult to get past that, and I can't find a way to justify the way that is the way it is. It really does put a dampener on this set. So I think it's one of those things, if you are going to get these sets, well, if you're watching this review, then obviously you've seen the issues with it. So if you get the sets, then I would recommend buying them. But you know, I feel sorry for people that are going to go and buy these, not going to see the reviews, and they're going to end up running into the same struggles and hurdles and lack of clarity over how this set works. And you know, I'm sorry, Lego, but I can't fully recommend the set on that basis, because it is so flawed the way you've done it. I mean, if they end up re-releasing this set in future with a paper instruction manual in it, great, then the problem's solved, and I will retract that. But as it stands now, as it's been marketed, just doesn't work. I'm sorry, it just really makes it difficult, and it's a real shame, because if it wasn't for that, this set really would have been something which I would have, you know, highly recommended for that reason. But that brings to a close another What I Think review. As always, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, favorite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. Be sure to look up the description below for a link to my Patreon. I'm doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.